The sun was a shimmering, brutal disk high above the community pool, and the air was thick with the scent of cheap sunscreen and chlorine. My 7-year-old, Leo, a burst of energy and pure summer joy, took a running leap from the shallow end and executed what he proudly called his tsunami cannonball. The resulting splash was glorious, a white, exhilarating sheet of water that momentarily blocked the sun. Honestly, who doesn't love a cannonball on a 90-degree day? Unfortunately, the deluge thoroughly soaked the woman sitting poolside, perfectly manicured and utterly motionless, in a white linen dress and oversized sunglasses. That's when the trouble started. She rose, slowly, like a venomous reptile uncoiling, peeling off her sunglasses to reveal eyes the color of iced resentment. "Are you kidding me right now? You barbaric child!" she shrieked, her voice cutting through the lazy hum of summer like a shard of glass. My protective instinct, an invisible shield, snapped up instantly. I was toweling off Leo, whose grin had curdled into confusion. "He's 7 years old, ma'am. It was an accident. We apologize," I said, keeping my voice low and steady, trying to de-escalate, though my blood was already starting to simmer. But accident wasn't in her vocabulary. She stomped the 5 feet to where we stood, the wet linen clinging to her like a second, angry skin. "An apology isn't sufficient. This dress is designer, and I demand that you discipline this little monster immediately. Make him sit in the car. Right now." A demand? On what planet? I felt a dizzying wave of heat. Partly the sun, partly sheer, defensive rage. "Ma'am, with all due respect, he is my son, and I will handle his discipline." We said sorry. "Now please step back." That's when the air changed. The gentle lapping of the pool water suddenly sounded distant. She leaned in, her breath smelling faintly of desperation and expensive perfume, her jaw visibly clenched. "You clearly don't know how to raise a responsible human being. Maybe I should teach him a lesson myself," she hissed, and before I could even process the words, before my heart had a chance to fully hammer against my ribs, she reached out, grabbed Leo's small, wet arm with terrifying force, and shoved him back toward the water. It wasn't a push. It was a violent correction, sending him stumbling, tripping over the edge of the pool, hitting the concrete deck hard just above his knee with a sickening thud. What the hell just happened? The world went silent, save for Leo's ragged, choked-off sob. Everything in me focused to a single, blinding point of pure adrenaline. "You put your hands on my son," I bellowed, stepping directly into her space, my entire body trembling. 2 teenagers dropped their phones, and a lifeguard started sprinting. The woman, this Karen, didn't look scared. She looked satisfied. "He needs to learn manners. Clearly, you won't teach him." She actually straightened her dress. This level of entitlement, this lack of basic human decency, was absolutely breathtaking. I knelt immediately by Leo, checking his leg, pulling him into my chest, inhaling the clean, wet smell of his hair while his tears soaked my collarbone. The lifeguard, a college kid named Marco, reached us first, radio crackling with panic. The pool manager, a mild-mannered man named David, arrived seconds later, eyes wide. Karen, however, was already in full performance mode, pointing a shaking, accusatory finger at me. "She assaulted me. I was simply trying to escort the boy away from the edge for his own safety after she ignored me, and his mother attacked me. I demand you call the police. Do you know who I am?" She declared her title, a local elementary school district board member, a teacher's superior. The irony stung like the chlorine in the hot air. A pillar of the community, putting her hands on a child. David, visibly sweating, tried to navigate the chaos. "Ma'am, we need to see the video footage from the security cameras." Karen cut him off, her voice laced with venomous certainty. "I don't care about your footage. I'm calling my lawyer and the police myself. This woman is unstable." She pulled out her phone, already dialing. That's when I had my moment, the secondary twist, the quiet reversal. I looked up at her, my voice low now, dangerously calm. "Go ahead. Call them." "I already did," I said, lifting my own phone, still recording the tail end of the incident. But here's the thing, counselor. I didn't just record the last 30 seconds. I recorded the whole thing, including the part where you physically grabbed and shoved a child who was not yours. And by the way, I'm a child welfare advocate. And I happen to be friends with the district attorney. Her face. Oh, that was the satisfying shift I'll never forget. The icy resentment fractured into sheer, unadulterated terror. The entitlement drained away, replaced by the ghastly realization that her calculated performance had run into a wall of witnesses and evidence. When the police arrived, they didn't look at me or Leo, who was now being comforted by Marco and an ice pack. They went straight for her. She tried to backtrack, to apologize, to cry crocodile tears, but it was too late. The audio of her demanding that I discipline my little monster, followed by the sound of her grabbing Leo, was damning. The arrest was quick and anticlimactic, but the legal consequence wasn't. Because she was a district board member, and because the act was recorded and involved the battery of a minor, the DA's office came down hard. Her career was incinerated. The board was disgusted. But the true, perfectly tailored dose of poetic justice came at sentencing. The judge, clearly fed up with people abusing their power and harassing children in public spaces, gave her community service, a hefty fine, and suspended jail time unless she refused the most deliciously ironic assignment: to help run the jail's inmate education program, which included teaching basic adult swim lessons in the facility pool. The day I read the news report, I felt a deep, cleansing sigh leave my chest. Leo was fine, just a bruise and a short-lived fear of poolside women in white dresses. He got a new swimsuit and an ice cream sundae the size of his head. As for the psycho Karen, she went from demanding managerial attention over a splash to answering to a warden, stripped of her designer clothes and forced to impart the very skill she tried to punish: how to safely navigate water. It was a powerful reminder that when you choose malice and entitlement over basic decency, the universe, or sometimes just a good legal system, has a way of balancing the scales. Never doubt that justice can be served, even in the deep end.